All right, well, have a seat like we normally do. I want you to make sure that you can sit in a position that gives you that nice straight spine so that we can align and get centered, but we're also going to start with a little bit of breathing this morning. So once you are situated and settled in your comfortable, steady seat, go ahead and just close your eyes, feel into your body. Just noticing how every part of you feels. You can begin a nice, deep, slow Ujjayi breath just to kind of help the senses turn inward. And then check in with thought processes, emotions, energy level, connection. Let's go ahead and set our intention for practice this morning. So get really clear on what your intention is. And then as you do get clear on that, you can bring your palms together in front of your heart. Take an extra deep inhale through the nose. Exhale through your mouth. And then just relax your hands down onto your knees or thighs. Regardless of how you're sitting, lift the rib cage up a little bit. I want you to feel some length on the abdomen. So we have a new week and a new month today. And we're going to start it off with a little bit of a bang. We're going to be doing kind of a detox flow this morning. Woohoo! So it's always nice to kind of start the new seasons with a fresh and clean slate. So to get ourselves prepared and energized for this morning's practice, we're going to start with 2 rounds of Kapalabhati, skull shining breath. This is the breath that you tightly contract the abdomen to forcefully exhale, and then you relax the abdomen and the breath just comes in. We'll do 2 rounds of 60. If you're experienced in this breath, that means it's going to be like 2 minutes of breath. That's it. It's very short because this is a rapid breath. So do the best you can. Do what you need to do. Make sure that the movement is coming from the abdomen, not from the face, and that you should not struggle either. This should get you a little bit warm and make things start to kind of rumble in your tummy. So let's take a deep breath in through the nose. Exhale completely through the nose. Take another deep breath in. Breathe out half of your air and begin Kapalabhati. Big inhale, arms up. Exhale, float the arms down. Deep breath in. Breathe out half of the air and begin round 2. Big inhale. Arms up, spread the fingers, hold your breath. Exhale, float the arms down and go straight into downward facing dog. Push your hips up and back. Take a moment to ease into it. You can pedal the feet a little bit if you need to. And then just find your down dog. Really press your hips back. Reconnect to your Ujjayi breathing. Go ahead and walk your feet forward. Keep your knees bent. Take a few breaths hanging here in a ragdoll, relaxing the neck, letting the spine lengthen. You can move if you need to. On your next inhale, reach the arms all the way up, stretch up. Exhale, palms together in front of the heart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold all the way forward. Look up halfway and lengthen. And then exhale back down. You can either walk or jump back to plank. I want you to hold your plank for a moment. Get that core really engaged. And then the first vinyasa we're going to modify. So you're going to drop down knees, chest, and chin. And then just untuck your toes and lift up into a low cobra. Nothing too crazy yet. We're going to do 2 lion breaths here. Take a deep breath in. Look over your right shoulder and do some hasana. Inhale back to the center. Exhale, lion breath to the left. Inhale back to the center. Exhale, press into downward facing dog. Tailbone reaching up and back, stretch. Raise your right leg straight back, 3-legged dog. On your next exhale, step your right foot forward. Hold your lunge for a moment. Drop your left knee down, raise the arms up and overhead, tuck that tailbone under, let your hips sink forward, take a couple of breaths here. On your next exhale, just rotate to the right, let the arms open out, kind of like a T, but your palms are facing forward. Hands to the mat on either side of that right foot. Extend your right leg. Flex the ankle and toes. Let's get into that right hamstring a little bit. So you want to really straighten that right leg as much as possible. One more breath here. And then we're stepping back to plank position. This time take a full-on vinyasa, whatever that is for you today. And that could be modified or full-on. Then we're going to take the left leg straight behind us, 3-legged dog. Step the left foot forward, hold your lunge for a couple of breaths. Drop the right knee down, bring those arms up and overhead, pelvis tilts back as we sink the hips forward. On your next exhale, rotate open to the left, arms are out like a T, palms are forward, right hip continues to move forward. Hands on either side of the left foot, gaze forward. Begin to extend your left leg, and then if you can, you're gonna flex your ankle and your toes. Step forward to your standing forward bend. Hold that for a moment. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, palms together in front of the heart. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold all the way forward. Look up halfway and lengthen. And then back down. We're going to step back with the left leg. Hold your lunge for a moment. Make sure your feet are in a decent position. If you can, I'd like you to hold the high lunge this time and bring your arms up and overhead. Tailbone kind of tucks under as your pelvis tilts back and you allow the hips to drop. Now we're going to twist a little deeper if you can, palms together, left elbow outside, right knee or thigh. And we want to push into the palms, lift the torso up and away from that right thigh. Look over the right shoulder. Hands are going to come down inside the right foot. See if you can make it down onto your left forearm, perhaps both. Just coming into a little lizard this morning. Hands on either side of the right foot, gaze forward. Get your right leg as straight as you comfortably can, and that might mean that it's not straight, which is just fine. If you're feeling it in your right hamstring, you're in the right spot. From here, we're going to step it back to plank and take a vinyasa. Keep that ujjayi breath going. Make sure your spine is lengthening and that your hips are pressing back while your heels are pressing down. And we're going to take a step forward with our left foot. Hold your lunge for a moment. Make sure your feet are in the right position so that if you can, come on up into your high lunge. Pelvis tilts. Hips are dropping. And then we twist, if you can, palms come together, right elbow outside, left knee or thigh. And remember, you want to press your palms together so that you can kind of lift your torso up and look over your left shoulder. We're going to bring both hands down inside the left foot. See if you can come onto your right forearm, perhaps both. Hands on either side of your left foot, gaze forward and begin to straighten that left leg. Step your right foot forward to a standing forward bend. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, palms together in front of the heart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, look up halfway. Exhale, back down. You can either walk or jump back to plank. Take a vinyasa. Follow your breath. From this down dog, right leg goes up in the air, three-legged dog. Hold it. Right foot steps forward. Come on up into your high lunge. Palms together, prayer twist again to the right. This time as we come out of it, we're coming all the way out. All you're going to do is spin your left heel flat, take your arms out to the side. You should be in warrior two. Left hand on left thigh, right arm up and over. After reverse warrior, we're going to come into a deep side angle. I want you to take your right hand to the floor inside that right foot. Left hand reaches for the ceiling, and then on an exhale, bring your left arm overhead. Inhale back into your warrior two. Interlace the fingers behind the back. As you exhale, you're going to fold right down the middle. You should feel this in your right hip, right side of the low back. Come back up into your warrior two. We're going to transition this back into our high lunge. Arms are up and overhead. You're back on the toes of the left foot. Hands come to the mat, step it back to plank, and take your vinyasa. Left leg straight behind you, three-legged dog. Step that left foot forward. Go ahead and come on up into your high lunge. Palms together, prayer twist to the left if you can. Remember, we're coming all the way out of this into warrior two. Right heel spins flat. Pardon me, arms are out to the side. Right heel on right thigh, reverse warrior. Left arm up and over. Coming all the way up and into a deep side angle. Left hand to the floor inside the left foot. Right hand to the ceiling, and then on your exhale, you bring the right arm overhead. Come all the way back up, warrior two. Interlace the fingers behind the back. Squeeze the shoulder blades together, fold right down the middle. All the way back up, warrior two. Transition back into your high lunge. Take your hands to the mat, step it back to plank. Take your vinyasa. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. From here, I want you to take your right leg straight behind you again, three-legged dog. This time what we're going to do is take the right leg underneath us, but keep it straight. Slide it up. So you're on the outside edge of your right foot. Your right leg is straight, and that right foot is kind of moving up towards your left armpit. And on your next exhale, you're simply going to lower down as if you were doing a vinyasa. Trying to get chest to the floor, basically. Maybe this is it. If you feel like you can, extend the arms out to the side and maybe turn your head to the right. Winds up being a nice twist. You're welcome to grab that right foot with your left hand if you can reach it, but keep the right leg straight if you can. Now, as we come out of this, we're going to be going straight back into a three-legged dog. And then perhaps flipping the dog. We're doing what some people call wild thing. So if you're able to do that, that's where we're headed. Hands come back under the shoulders. Take that right leg straight back. Bend the knee. See if you can drop your right leg behind you. Take your right arm overhead. Stretch. Bring it all back around. Downward facing dog. Lengthen and then shift into plank. Take your full vinyasa. Stay connected with a nice, deep, resonant ujjayi breath. Very useful. From this downward facing dog, left leg goes up. And we swing it underneath us with the left leg straight. You're on the outside edge of your left foot. You slide it up towards the right armpit and you lower yourself down. Trying to get chest to the floor. If you can, the arms extend. Maybe that right hand grabs the left foot as long as your left leg is straight. Maybe your head turns to the left. And remember, we're going all the way out to flip the dog here. So if you can, hands under the shoulders. Shoot that left leg straight back. Bend the knee. Let your left foot drop behind you. Left arm overhead. Flip it back around, downward facing dog. And shift into plank and take your vinyasa. From this downward facing dog, you may either walk or jump forward, standing forward bend. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, palms together in front of the heart. So we're going to balance in Vrikshasana, tree pose, but I'll give you the option of doing it a little bit deeper rather than just having the foot on the standing leg up against the inside of the calf or thigh. If you're feeling like it, you can bring the foot up on top of the standing leg or thigh. That's an option for you. We're going to stand on the right leg first. I want you to bring your left foot wherever you want it. So if you need to, you can have it inside the calf or the thigh. But if you're able to, let's go ahead and bring the left foot on top of the right thigh near the hip, if you can. Palms are together in front of the heart. If you can, interlace the fingers, extend the index fingers up, take your arms up and overhead. Palms come back together in front of the heart. And release out. Standing on your left leg, we bring the right foot up on top of the left thigh if you can, and if you can't, you just bring it normally wherever you would on the inside. You do what's best for you, but if you're able, right foot's on top of the left thigh. Palms are together in front of the heart. Interlace the fingers, extend the index fingers straight up. Reach up. Palms come together back in front of the heart. And we release down. Feet together, palms together at the front of the mat. Inhale, reach your arms up, stretch. Exhale, fold all the way forward. Inhale, look up halfway. Exhale, back down. You can either walk or jump back to plank. Take your full-on vinyasa. Right leg straight behind you. This time we're going to swing the right leg underneath us with a bent knee. Drop the left leg down, slide it back. Nestle down onto your forearms if you can, coming into pigeon for a few breaths. And if forearms feels good and your glute feels loose enough, you're certainly welcome to flatten all the way out. Now from here, keep your legs as they are. Come back up onto your hands. If you're able, your left arm is going to reach underneath you, kind of like you would for threading the needle, and you'll rest on your left shoulder. Your right hand is going to reach up for the ceiling. If you're feeling extra flex today, you can take your right hand behind you and grab your right toes. They're kind of up by your left rib cage or armpit. Now, as we come out of this, we're going to do like we did a moment ago. We're going to shoot it up and back, and flip our dog if you can. Otherwise, a three-legged dog is fine. So here we go. Left toes turn under. That right leg shoots straight back. Bend the knee. See if you can drop your right foot behind you. Reach that right arm up and overhead. Stretch. Flip it back around. Full on down dog. And shift into plank. Take your vinyasa. After you've had a breath to lengthen in your downward facing dog, left leg goes up, three-legged dog stretch. This time the left leg comes underneath us with the knee bent. Right leg drops and slides back so that we can come into pigeon on the left side. Excuse me, coming onto your forearms, maybe flattening out. You find what feels best for you. So we're going to keep the legs as they are. Come up onto the hands. Take the right arm, if you can, underneath you and rest on that right shoulder like you would for threading the needle. Left hand can reach for the ceiling. This is a great place to stay. If you'd like, that left arm can reach behind you and clasp your left foot, which is up and underneath you at this point. So same thing here. As we come out of this, we're gonna shoot that left leg back and flip the dog. So plant your hands, turn your right toes under, left leg goes back, three-legged dog. Knee bends, if you can, flip all the way over, take your left arm up and over your head, stretch. And flip it back around, downward facing dog. And then shift into plank and take your vinyasa. Really lengthen in your down dog here. And then go ahead and drop down to your knees, hands and knees. So we're going to move into that deeper version of threading the needle. I like to call it the kickstand version. You're going to start with your right leg out to the right with the foot flat. Your right leg should be very straight, and the entire sole of your right foot needs to hit the ground. Don't do this big toe side thing. Baby toe side of the foot's kissing the ground. The right foot slides up. This time we're going to take left arm underneath. It doesn't matter if you can grab your right leg or not, it's still a kickstand, but if your left hand can grab, excuse me, either right big toe or ankle or calf, do that. And then take your right hand up towards the ceiling and see if you can roll open. So you wind up getting a really nice twist here. Back of the left shoulder is opening, right side of the chest is opening, and you're getting a nice detoxifying spinal twist. So you should feel some compression in your abdomen here. Come all the way out of that, hands and knees. Pardon me. And then from here, we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. So take your left leg out. The whole foot is flat. Slide it up towards the left armpit as much as you can. Right arm scoops underneath like traditional threading the needle. Left arm reaches for the ceiling. If you can grab your left foot or ankle or leg with your right hand, great, but not necessary. Left arm opens out behind you. So you should feel back of the right shoulder blade, front of the left shoulder and chest, and a deep twist. All right, come on out of that. Hands and knees, give yourself a little tail wag if you need one. And then just take a deep breath in here on hands and knees. We're going to do 2 more lion breaths. Just a reminder, Simhasana is eyes open wide, mouth open wide, tongue sticking out on the exhale. Here we go. Breathe in. And then Simhasana. One more time. Inhale. Simhasana. As you inhale, step it back to plank. As you exhale, take your vinyasa. From this downward facing dog, if you feel like you can, your left arm is going to come underneath and either grab the outside of the right thigh or the right calf. You're going to twist and look underneath that right armpit. Left hand back on the mat. Right hand reaches underneath you, grabbing left thigh or calf, and you twist and look underneath left armpit. Right hand back down, downward facing dog. And then we're going to move into one final vinyasa. So on your next inhale, shift into plank. As you exhale, lower down. As you inhale, upward facing dog. And as you exhale, downward facing dog. Mindfulness on the Ujjayi breath. And then you may either walk or jump forward to a standing forward bend. And from your standing forward bend, I'd like you to just see if you can drop your buns all the way to the mat gracefully and extend your legs for Dandasana. It's always good to learn to get down and back up gracefully, easily. It's a good skill for life. So once you're all the way into staff pose, just take a moment. Hands by sides, chest is lifted, spine is aligned, legs are active. Check in. How's everything feeling? You should be relatively warm, I hope. You should be conscious of your breath. Your abdominal region should be kind of awake. So we're going to keep the right leg straight, bring the left foot to the inside of the right thigh. Lean out over your right leg. Coming up from that, pick your left foot up. If you can, bring it on top of your right thigh. Kind of like we did when we were doing tree pose earlier, if you were able to do that variation. And you're gonna lean out again. Coming up from that, we're gonna put the right hand on the left knee. The left hand is behind us. Lift the chest and begin to twist to your left. If you feel like you can or you want to, your left arm, you're welcome to reach around and grab that left big toe and get a little bit deeper twist, but if that's not good for you, don't do it. And then from here, we're just gonna take the left foot and slide it all the way over outside the right leg so the left foot is flat. We'll keep the right leg straight. Lift up through the chest and see if you can twist a little deeper now. Left hand is on the floor. You're either hugging your left knee, or if you can, you're gonna bring that right elbow or tricep outside the left knee or thigh and get a really deep twist. So I want you to search for that sensation of squeezing, compression in your midsection. As you come out of this, just bring your left foot back where you got it, inside the right thigh, letting that left knee drop down. And I want you to lean out over your right leg again. You may notice that after your twisting poses, the forward bends are easier. It's a cool thing. Twists and forward bends go together like peanut butter and jelly. Take a couple of breaths. And as you come out of this, go ahead and bring the right foot up to meet the left foot. Hands behind you for a straight spine. You're pressing the knees out to the side and down towards the floor. So just a little Baddha Kanasana, bound angle pose, also commonly called cobbler's pose. Extend your left leg, and now your right foot should be just snugged into the left thigh. Go ahead and lean out over your left leg. Come on up from that. We're going to pick the right foot up, bring it high up onto the left thigh. Again, kind of like we did in tree pose. If you can, lean out again. Just do your best with these and modify. If you've got knee issues or anything else going on, you do what's best for you. These things don't have to look a certain way. We're going for sensation. Come on up. We're going to bring the right hand behind us, left hand on the right knee. Lift your chest and twist to the right. If you feel like you can reach around behind you and grab that right big toe with the right hand. Only if you feel like you can. And twist and look over the right shoulder. And then we'll release out of that and let the right foot slide all the way across the left thigh so that your foot's completely flat. Right hand behind you again, twisting a little deeper if possible to really, really feel that sensation of squeezing and compression. Think of your internal organs as being like sponges and you're squeezing them out right now so that they can be flooded with fresh, oxygenated blood, interstitial fluid, all kinds of good stuff. Take one more breath here. And then go ahead and let your right foot come back where it was, inside the left thigh, right knee dropping open, and lean out one more time over your left leg. Again, you might notice that your forward bend is a little easier here. So our twists do an immense amount of good for our internal organs and of course for our spine. But the happy little side effect is that they're also great for the hips, and so they help our forward bends. Come all the way up from this. This time we're going to take the right leg straight out. Wiggle your legs if you need to. And then I'd like you to do a deep forward bend over both legs. So Paschimottanasana is just a nice, deep, seated forward bend. And then as we come up from this, we're going to bend the knees, grab behind the thighs, lift the chest, lean back a little bit, extend the arms, maybe extend the legs, and take a few breaths here in Navasana, boat pose, before we get onto our backs. One more breath. So you can put your feet down. Go ahead and roll onto your back. Hug your knees in. Rock side to side. So we're going to do a little bit of Parsvahalasana this morning, which is side plow. If plow is not part of your practice because of shoulder or neck issues, please feel free to do legs up the wall or even stick a block under your bum and just put your legs in the air. But if you're able, what I'd like you to do is take your legs up and overhead. If your toes hit the ground, you can keep your hands behind you If your legs are in the air, please support your low back or sacrum with your hands. So once you're in plow, if you feel like you can, walk both feet one step over to the left. Bend your knees, pointing toes towards the ceiling. See if you can get right knee outside left side of the head. Extend the legs again. Walk them a step over to the right. Bend your knees. Left knee is outside right part of the head. Legs extend back into the center. One more breath here. And then we're going to just roll down. Hug the knees in. Rock side to side. So we're going to put the right foot down on the mat. Take the left thigh really tightly over the right. So this is a pretty deep reclined spinal twist. If you know you're going to need to modify, just uncross your legs. But if you can, keep that right foot in the middle of the mat because we want the spine to stay straight. Open your left arm out to the left and then drop both knees over to the right and let your head turn to the left. So you're twisting pretty deeply here, but because you're reclined and your spine is so beautifully straight, you shouldn't be feeling too much abdominal compression, just a little. We take some nice deep breaths here. Three more breaths. On your next inhale, bring the legs back up. If your knees are crossed, keep them crossed. Pick your right foot up. Let's make 3 big, slow circles in the air in each direction with the knees. And as you end up with all of those knee circles, you can uncross your legs. I like to hug mine in, you don't have to. And then we're going to put the left foot on the mat, tightly cross right thigh over left. If you're able, if you need to modify, uncross the knees. Right foot's going to stay in the middle of the mat if you can. Right arm opens out to the right, and we drop both knees to the left. Head turns to the right if that feels okay in your body. And so again, you're probably not feeling a ton of compression, but you are getting a nice deep twist. Three more breaths on this side. On your next inhale, bring the legs back up. Keep your knees crossed if they are. Pick the left foot back up. Let's do those 3 big, slow circles in the air in each direction with the knees. As you finish all 3 circles in each direction out, uncross your legs, you can hug them in. And then just take a few breaths in happy baby. So grab the outside edges of your feet, wiggle, move, stretch, do anything basically that you feel like you need to do here. Anything your body is asking for, even if it's not happy baby, you can do that now. A couple more breaths. And then I'd like you to go ahead and place your feet on the mat, ankles and knees together. We're going to come back into awareness of our breathing and coordinate our movements with our breath. So as you exhale, both knees are going to gently drop to one side. And maybe it's a little move or maybe it's a full-on twist. It just depends on your body. And then you'll inhale both knees back up. And as you exhale, both of them will drop in the opposite direction. So the knees stay together. And what you're basically doing is a nice, slow, fluid hip roll. There's some gentle spinal twisting that finishes off your detox practice here, but it's definitely winding it down. So we're going to be changing our energies now from that heating solar type of flow, moving into a more relaxed lunar type of being. So our energy will be changing. Go one more time on each side, or whatever will make you feel as though you're even. And then we'll let the knees drop open with the soles of the feet together so that we can lengthen the low back. We'll do it twice this morning. So as you inhale, press the low back into the mat, tilting the pelvis back just to lengthen low back muscles. And then you exhale and release that. One more time, inhale, press your low back into the mat. And exhale and release. Then begin to extend your legs out. Separate the feet. Do a quick check through every part of the body and make sure that it's just in the best place for Shavasana today. As always, hands should be below the height of the heart, preferably with palms facing up and fingers relaxed. The spine should feel long, your eyes should be closed, your jaw is relaxed, all your facial muscles are just soft. Take a deep breath in. Exhale through your mouth. And give yourself permission to just let go and settle in. So everything just kind of softens and settles towards the floor. The muscles relax, and the breath is then afforded the opportunity to become gentler and softer and even shallower. So noticing all of that. And then bringing your awareness to your abdomen, your stomach, your belly, the place where all of your internal organs reside. So all of our vital stuff exists between our pubic bone and our collarbone. Basically, the heart and lungs are in the thoracic cavity. The liver is kind of in between. And then we have everything else in the abdominal cavity. Mostly focusing on abdominal cavity today. I want you to just notice, is your stomach gurgling? Is it making some noise? Does it feel warm? And don't judge or try and create something going on there. Just kind of notice that area. So we have Agni, fire, in this area. And what's cool about that is in yoga, there are multiple bodies. So we have this physical body that we're in right now, considered the gross body. Or I love the translation, your body made of food, because you are in fact what you eat. The food that you eat becomes this body that you're living in. So there's your physical body, the body made of food. But you also have your mental body, you have your energetic body, etc. So these fires in the physical body are like our digestive fires. And so if there's any rumbling or heat in the midsection, that's a really good thing. We want that stoked. But energetically, our Agni, our fire, can start to burn off other things. So energetically, the fire can burn off past actions or karmas. Mentally, we can use it to burn off negative thoughts, things that are not in our best interest. And to be quite honest, most of us are continually thinking things that are not in our best interest. Our thoughts create our emotions, right? And a lot of times our emotions are not pleasant. So we can use this Agni, this fire, to burn off the negative thoughts that create the negative emotions. And so we can burn off those negative emotions, things like anger. And think about that. That's fire, right? We get hot under the collar, or ooh, that makes me steamed. Think about the words that we use. So all of this fire, this Agni, this heat that we've generated through our practice, our tapas, our austerities and discipline, we can use for good. So we can burn off anything physical that needs to be burned off, whether that's, poor food choices or tight muscles. Heat is beneficial for that. And then mentally, emotionally, and energetically, we can burn off thoughts, emotions, and past actions or karmas. So for just a few more breaths, I just want you to focus at your midsection. Any noise, any rumbling, any movement, and heat. Feel that. Notice any thoughts that you might be having around this whole idea. Notice any emotions you're having right now, and notice your energy, and hold all of that in your awareness at the same time. Begin to allow your awareness to move throughout your entire body. Now I want you to just feel your whole physical body. Maybe begin to move fingers and toes a little bit. Bring your awareness to your breath. and begin to breathe a little deeper. When you're ready, on an extra deep inhale, spread your fingers and toes, and then exhale through the mouth with a soft sigh and relax the fingers and toes. Take an even deeper breath in and stretch your entire body however you would like to. And again, as you exhale through the mouth with a sigh, just relax. Bending the knees, either just letting the feet rest flat on your mat or hugging the knees in, whichever is better for you. You're going to roll to your right side, and I'd love for you to stay there for a couple of breaths, just lying on your right side, knees drawn in. And then use your left hand in front of your chest and press yourself up to sitting. Finding that same straight spine that we had at the beginning of our practice. So we began with Kapalabhati. We went through a very heated, detoxifying flow this morning. And now we balance that energy out with some really soft, relaxing lunar breathing. So we're also going into a new moon. Tomorrow evening is the new moon. And as you know, that means there's a lack of lunar energy. So we balance out what's going on in the universe around us, as well as what we did in our bodies this morning by bringing in more lunar energy. You'll be using your right thumb to block your right nostril. So you can just kind of make a thumbs up sign, pardon me. And you'll be blocking the right nostril. If it feels comfortable for you with your left hand, you can touch the tip of your ring finger to the tip of your thumb and let that hand rest palm up on your knee or thigh. You don't have to do that if you don't want to. We're going to be doing a 1-to-2 ratio breath through the left nostril only. So whatever you inhale, your exhale should be precisely twice as long. All left nostril breathing. So straight spine, inhale through both nostrils. Exhale through both nostrils. And then begin, it's your own count. 1-to-2 ratio breathing through left side only, Chandra Dharana. Finish out the breath you're on, and as you do, just let that right hand rest down for a moment. I'd like you to keep your eyes closed and just kind of pause. Take one more opportunity this morning to check in with your body, your breath, your mind, your heart, your energy, and even your sense of connection. I'd like you to bring back to mind the intention that you set at the beginning of class. If it seems like an intention that would serve you for the rest of the day, recommit to it. And if it was specifically for this 1 hour practice, let it go and perhaps set an intention for your entire day. And then let's bring our palms together in front of our hearts, taking a moment in gratitude, always gratitude. There's so much to be grateful for. We have these amazing bodies that we have the good fortune to inhabit. We have this amazing planet that we have the good fortune to inhabit. And we are lucky enough to have these brains, these minds that can help us become more self-aware so that we can be better stewards of these bodies and this planet. Take one more huge inhale through the nose. Big happy sigh through the mouth. Palms to the forehead, reminding us to be present. Palms to the lips, reminding us to speak our truth. Palms to the heart, reminding us to keep our hearts open and to always practice kindness, compassion, and love. Thank you so much for being here with me this morning. Namaste.